Hi, Nina. How are we doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. I'm just going to ask you a few basic questions here first. Where do you live?
In Buffalo.
In Buffalo? Okay. And what do you do for a living?
I'm actually a waitress at the Anchor Bar.
Good, good. And what are you here for today exactly?
I'm having some marital issues between me and my husband.
Okay.
It's starting to become physical.
Is it? Okay. Okay, and what does he do? Does he punch you or does he ever...
Well, he starts off, we'll get into a small argument. I'll say how I feel about the situation. He will take it to a whole new level, start screaming at me, and then he'll start to push me and pull my hair, and then if it gets to it, he has swung a couple times.
Okay, and is there ever a basic topic that starts the argument, or is it what actually makes him go off?
A lot of things make him tick. A lot of things are when you talk about bills and I tell him the money or the rent needs to be paid, he freaks out. But normally anything that if he's had a long day at work will make him tick.
Okay, and is he a drinker? Is this an issue in it maybe?
He's definitely a drinker. He goes out every day after work and has a couple beers with his friends, so that could definitely consider him a drinker.
Would you say that he drinks every time the abuse happens, or is that not a factor in it?
Sometimes, sometimes not. It all depends on the situation and when we're fighting.
Okay. How long has this abuse been going on for?
I would say it's gotten worse within the last 6 months, but probably about a year.
Okay. Do you have kids?
We have 2.
2 kids. How old are your kids?
My youngest is 7 and my oldest is 13.
Okay. And they live with you?
Yep.
Okay. What actually made you, if the abuse has been going on for almost 2 years, you say, what actually was your breaking point to come to me today?
Well, we got into an argument about who was going to let the kids off the bus, and he was late to pick them up, and I got home, and I had gotten a phone call from the school, and we started to get into an argument, and he actually pushed me in front of our smallest child.
So your smallest child saw
Yes.
and pushed you. Okay, that's never a good thing. Does he ever leave marks on you when he hits you, like in the past before your kids saw it?
If he does, he makes it a point to make me cover it. Like if he gets something on my arm, I have to wear a long sleeve, or if he pushes me down, I have a bruise on my leg, I have to cover it. But
so your children have never seen any of the marks he's left on you?
Nope.
No? Okay. And how did your child react when
she didn't really know how to act. She kind of saw it happen and was like, "Mommy, are you okay? Are you okay?" And then just kind of took herself out of the situation and just went to her room. She didn't really know what to do. She's only 7.
Okay. How often does this actually occur?
It used to only happen once or twice a month, and now it's becoming weekly. You know, it's a couple times a week.
Is the more oftenness another reason that you would like to see something done about it?
Yes.
Okay. How does he react towards you after the abuse?
He's very sorry. It won't happen again. He's very loving. It was a mistake. It was his temper. He didn't mean it. Kind of puts the blame on me. If you have been a long day at work, this should have happened, and kind of turns it on me, but is very I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
And you have always believed that he wasn't going to do it again, or you just accepted the apology?
I always accepted the apology, and at first, when it first started happening, I just never thought he would do it again. I mean, we've never had this problem. We dated for years. And then once it started happening weekly, for a month, I'd get beat a lot, and then I just kind of would accept it. But I knew it was going to keep coming.
How did it personally make you feel when your husband would do this?
No one likes to get beat. I never thought I'd be in an abusive relationship. I always tell myself, no, I can do better. This is not what I need. He can get help. But I sometimes feel like I deserve it.
You feel like you deserve it? What do you do to make you feel that way?
just things like he says, like, you know, maybe he has had a long day at work and, like, I shouldn't, you know, complain about you not taking out the garbage, or if, like, you know, you weren't there to pick the kids up because you were working. Like, you know, sometimes maybe there's, like, fights I shouldn't be starting.
Okay. And what would you like to see done? What was
I would
your
like the
purpose?
abuse to stop, especially I don't want my children to know, like, that's a dysfunctional home, and I would never want my daughter to feel as if it's normal for her to be beaten by a man, because it's not. I don't want anything legal done, because first off, he's the breadwinner, and he brings home the money in the family.
What does he do for a living?
He's an engineer.
Okay, definitely. So nothing legally done. You don't want any charges pressed against him?
No, I would never want to break up my family.
Okay, so what are you thinking we can do? Would you like maybe him to come in and we can both chat, or do you not want him to know that you're even here? Does he know you're here?
He does not know I'm here.
He does not. Okay, well, I can see if we can get some services for abused women that you can. Would you be willing to sit and chat with a group?
I'm looking for, I've come to you for not only to help. There's nothing I can stop on his side. I feel as if he knew I was coming here, it would just happen again. He'd be even more mad. So I'm coming to you to see, like, maybe if I can go to, like, a group that helps me, you know, try to get the abuse to stop from my perspective, or, like, what I could do differently to make it so it doesn't get abusive.
Have you ever actually thought about leaving him, or no? Just because you don't want to break up the family? Is that the only reason?
I've thought about it, but then I have 2 kids. I'm only a waitress. I don't want my kids to grow up without a dad. I feel like if I left him, we would not be on good terms.
So in a way, do you feel trapped in your situation here?
Kind of, but I love him.
Okay. Well, we can definitely see if we can get you into some services for group talks. So what you're telling me here is that you have finally come to me to talk to me because your breaking point was that your child actually saw you get hit. He does drink, but you wouldn't call him an alcoholic or anything? No? Okay, so he occasionally drinks, but that's not the main reason the abuse is happening? You don't believe?
No.
Okay. He has left marks on you, but you were told to hide them. He reacts in a very loving way after the beating. You would definitely like to see something done, but you don't want to break up your family, which I completely understand. But, so what we're going to do is we're going to try and see if these group meetings help you. Hopefully they do. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how well the meetings are going to help you if you're not willing to tell your husband what's going on, but you want to stay with him.
I feel as if I told him that I was coming to see somebody, he would complain about the money. We can't afford that. I go to work all these hours for you to go complain to somebody about me. I can't do that, and I feel like the abuse would get worse. I also am scared that he would leave me. Okay. Like I said, there's a lot of issues, whereas I can't be a single parent as a waitress.
Okay, yeah.
My kids, my kids go to a private school. We've always tried to bring our kids up on that.
I understand.
On that level. I'm just really scared that he would come back at me. I would try to, like, drop hints or say, like, you can't do this, like, stop hitting me and all this stuff, and I don't know if it's going to stop because he does work all day long. He works 8 to 5. It's a very stressful job. I mean, he brings home a lot of money. My kids say to me, like, oh, Mommy, are you and Daddy okay? Like, we're so happy that my 13-year-old says, like, she sees families that are single parents, and she's like, I'm so glad that I have a mommy and a daddy, and it's like, that's heartbreaking to a mother to hear. Like, she doesn't want to leave her dad.
Definitely.
Have
you ever spoke to him at all about the abuse? Have you ever called him out on it? Have you ever said anything, brought it up?
I have threatened to leave him.
Okay.
And said, if it doesn't stop, you don't lay your hands on me. I was brought up where my dad never hit my mom. That wasn't even thought of. And I told him I would leave you. You got to stop. Like, I'm going to break up the family if you don't stop hitting me. He just says you can't do it on your own. Like, he just kind of, like, pushes me down. Like, makes
so
me
he
feel
doesn't
like
believe that you will leave?
No.
Okay. Well, definitely what we're going to definitely try and do is to get you into these meetings if that's what you feel will help you. We'll see how well that goes. You're telling me a lot here. I want to see you again if possible next week. I'll have you set up with a group meeting before then. You can let me know how that goes. If you think that's helping, we'll stick with it. We'll see how well that goes. If not, we'll try and find something else. But your goal definitely here is to end the abuse so that you can keep your family together. If this does not end, are you willing to stay with him? Or
It depends how bad it gets. Like I
Okay.
said, sometimes I could probably stop nagging him.
Okay. Well, let's see how this works. I'll set you up with an appointment for the group meeting. Come back. We'll talk about it. So, thank you very much for that.
Thank you. See you in 2 weeks.